Hey everybody, my name is Cassandra and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing something a little different. I normally just post cooking videos because I like to cook. I'm kind of picky and I like to think that I'm helping someone else try something new or get ideas on how to use up food that they already have in their pantry and everything. If you don't know, I'm a single mother from a small town in northern Wyoming. I can't really go out and do anything. My kid is pretty much going to live with me her whole life, or my whole life at least. It's just how it is, and I've basically come to terms with it. But now and again I start playing online video games just to have someone to talk to other than my kids' teachers, workmates, and all that jazz. Another reason I started this channel, to try to reach out to other people that way. But I've been playing World of Warcraft. If you don't know that game, it's a great way to pass the time, especially when you're not an insomniac and your kid is an insomniac and you need something to do. And the great thing about that is you get into a group of people, your guild, and you get to know people. Sometimes you don't know anyone at all. Sometimes you have people that you talk to every day. You never know who you're gonna find, and I don't think I'd ever met as many random people as I have. But unfortunately, we just learned that one of our longtime guildmates passed away. I don't know his real name, but he's been part of my life for about 5 years now, and it still hits a little hard. Because you just think that people are taking breaks. Because you get tired of playing the same game. You have real life obligations, and you just fade out, and then you come back and you just keep on going, because what else is there to do sometimes, you know? But unfortunately, we managed to learn that he had not just been taking a break and had passed away. Wow, it's hard. In Ode to Oat of Tekka, it's the only name I know him by, I'm going to try a new recipe. It's a barbecue hash. He had talked about it quite a few times and had sent me a recipe that I printed out that I said was really close to what he thought that the recipe that he buys from his local place tasted like. I never got around to making it, mainly because looking at the picture, my mind goes, I don't think I'm going to be able to handle the texture, but I'm going to do it. I don't have everything on this, but I have almost everything already on hand. It's an all-day project, so I'm probably going to start it tomorrow morning, early as I can, because you're supposed to simmer everything for like 2 to 3 hours and then put it in the crock pot after you blend it for 3 to 4 hours, because it's mainly 4 pounds of meat, onions, black pepper, hot sauce, pepper flakes, a cup of apple cider vinegar, and 2 cups of water. So that sucker needs to simmer for a long time to get to the consistency that the picture showed. I know that just by looking at it. And the amount of vinegar means that it's going to break down the meat. And it's going to make the meat nice and tender. And then you immersion blend it between the two heating. And you make this little conglomeration, whatever you want to call it, of stuff. And you serve it on, I'm assuming, like either rice or mashed potatoes or something like that. The recipe I'm following makes, it's going to be like 5 pounds. It says it makes 8 servings. So if I don't like it, I always have my sister. My sister loves this sort of thing. So, and she also gave me a thing of hot sauce, because it calls for hot sauce. And if you don't know anything about my cooking, I don't do spicy. But I hope the sound is okay here. I hope I don't get too much in anything. And if you don't, feel free to skip through just the cooking. But this is my ode to oat. We noticed you're gone, and we're going to notice you've been gone. Yeah, well, I'm gonna start crying, so I guess let's get cooking. And good morning. Not quite as early as I had hoped for, but I think I should still get it done by dinner time. First things first, my pork's not quite as thawed as I'd hoped, so I may have to cook the onions and pork a little bit till I can get it broken apart. First, I add the ground pork, but I have 4 pounds of ground pork. Good enough for me. Supposed to have a sweet onion and yellow onion. I had onions from the food bank, so I'm just going to do 2 of those, a big and a small one. Hot sauce, my sister, this is the one she gave me. She said it's not too spicy, so it also has carrots in it. And red food dye for some strange reason, but you know, I don't fight with something I don't have to spend money on that I'm not going to finish up, so I'll use my 1/4 cup out of it and give it back to my sister. Got my Heinz vinegar. Just gotta make sure I remember to shake it up a little bit because there's some sediment in the bottom. Pepper, red pepper flakes, water, and that's it. So I'll dice up my onions, get my pork in there, mixed around, add my seasonings and the other stuff, and then the first 2-hour wait. Seems pretty easy, but I'm pretty sure it's also pretty easy to mess up. So I will catch you in a second once I get my onions all diced up and started to add stuff to my pot. We got the onion. I'm going to toss it in first. My pan's getting hot. Sorry if you can't hear me that great. The onion was strong, even though it was in my fridge for a week. Yeah. Whatever. Got onions. I'm going to toss my pork in so it can start finishing thawing up if I need to. Because I know you can slice down it and get it out a little easier, but I always have this slight fear if I slice down the center of it to get it out that I'm going to get plastic in my food and I won't realize it, and I'd rather just take a few extra seconds to get it out this way. Hope this is a big enough pot. I didn't think about that. Well, we'll see in a second. Now won't we? I don't know when this pork is all from. I think some of it's from a year ago. Some of it might be from like 2-3 years ago, but it needs to go. The reason I say it might be different time frames is because it had different colored tape on it. It usually means it's from a different year. At least my experience, but I may have to get a bigger pot. I mean, I only need this and a couple cups of water, but okay, let me wash my hands. Okay, I got it in. I'm gonna get these two chunking stuffs combined, and then I'll add the rest of this stuff because this one's still hard right here. I'm gonna try not to let it cook too much while I break them apart. I just don't want to have a huge blob of pork to fight with. So I'll get you in a second once I get this broken apart really good. Okay, good enough. I got them all down to little chunks. So next we grab the recipe, because now the onions are attacking my face. Black pepper, hot sauce, and pepper flakes. Okay. I'm supposed to do 2 tablespoons of black pepper. I cannot even fathom that much black pepper in something, so I'm going to do 1 tablespoon. I'm not a pepper fan. So we're going to do full tablespoon of black pepper. And then a teaspoon of red pepper flakes. Teaspoon. My little neon green ones from forever ago. Let's see. 1 teaspoon of pepper flakes. Let's see. And my 1/4 cup of hot sauce that I got out. I will mix this up really good, and once it feels like it's totally combined, so partially cooked, then I'll add the rest of the stuff into it. I think I got it pretty well mixed up. I got the last little big chunks broken apart. It's not really cooked yet. It's good. I'm trying not to cook it, but I had to get those last little frozen bits broken apart. So next you add in your 1 cup of apple cider vinegar and 2 cups of water. I used the filtered water on my sink. This is gonna be weird. We're trusting the process here. So I'm gonna get it mixed up so there's no air bubbles, so it can boil. I'm bringing it up to a boil. I'm gonna let it simmer for, I'm going for 2 hours. It says 2 to 3 hours, but I also have to let it cool so I can immersion blend it after the 2 hours is done. So I'm gonna shoot for 2. We'll be back and hope my immersion blender works. If not, I have to dig out my blender. And I think I know where it is, but I'm not quite sure about that. You know, I'm always plan ahead. It's a great thing about cooking. Most things can sit while you try to find where stuff is. So I will catch you in a couple hours. 2 hours later, I've been stirring it every like 20-30 minutes, and this is what we got. So I'm gonna kick the heat off, let it cool off for about half an hour, then we'll immersion blend it and see what it looks like. And then it goes in the crock pot for 3 hours, something like that. I have to go find my recipe. I don't know where I put it. Oh well, I can look it up online again. That's a great thing about having internet. So far it's, I don't know how much liquid it's supposed to have in it. I had it partially covered with a lid. Maybe I shouldn't have. And it's not ground pork shoulder. It is just ground pork, so it probably has more fat in it too. But I assume at the end it's going to taste fine. So I'm gonna let this cool off a bit, and then we'll get to the next step. Okay, we've been cooling for about half an hour. I have my immersion blender. I've never used it. I don't know if it's any good, but it's the one I bought at some point. I don't remember when. I think I was planning on making some kind of a butternut squash soup, something like that, but I never got around to it. I can't get the cord untangled. That's how you can tell I've never used it. Okay. Let's see if it works. My kid is eating lunch. Seems like a good time to work on this. See if it works. It does work. So I'm gonna blend this and we'll see what it looks like after. Well, my immersion blender decided that's as much as it's gonna do, so I hope that's smooth enough. I like pop the fuse on it. So if you're ever gonna do this and use an immersion blender, blend a little bit and then get all the stuff off the blade and then keep blending. Don't just keep blending. But I think it's smooth enough. So I'm gonna toss this in my crock pot and put it on low for another 3 to 4 hours. And we'll see what it tastes like after that. Okay, who is ready to see what this looks like? It's been in here for about 3.5 hours. I haven't touched it, so let's hope I didn't screw anything up. I have my instant potatoes to go with it because that's how I roll. Oh. Let's see. Well, that's weird. Well, looks kind of like dog food, but you know. Does kind of look like a hash, though. You have to admit it. Sorry, there's bad lighting back here. Huh. I think that might be pretty good. Just really no way to get a good photo. There you go. I don't think I quite immersion blended it enough, but if you recall a few seconds ago, I killed my immersion blender, so it is what it is. So I'm gonna make my mashed potatoes, let this sit for a minute without the heat on, and then we're gonna taste it and see what it tastes like. There's a lot of pepper in there. You can't see it, but I'm so glad I only put 1 tablespoon in there. Okay, let me get my easy mashed potatoes made up. Alright, we have made Maurice's barbecue hash. Apparently it's a hearty and savory southern classic that is perfect for any occasion. Let's see, keywords are South Carolina, which is nowhere near where I live, but I'm gonna try it anyways. Looks interesting. What do you think it looks like? It smells pretty good though. It smells pretty good, so we're gonna give it a go. I made my instant potatoes because if you've never noticed, most of the time I'm making something really labor intensive and then a cheap, easy side. I was gonna make a can of green beans, but I'm not sure I'm gonna like it, so I'm going to hold off on making any other sides until I tried it, and then I can, you know, get some green beans or something if I'm gonna have it for other meals. And my kid is still in the background. There's no way to make her be quiet, trust me. I think the moment she realizes I'm talking and trying to do something, she starts making noise. It's kind of fork, spoon, what do you think? We'll go with spoon. It is hot. Okay, I'm gonna give it a second to cool off so I don't burn my mouth. I'll be right back. I think it's cool enough. I'm gonna give it a taste. Hopefully it's not too spicy. What do you think? I'm not sure. I think it's like a regional thing, probably, so. That's vinegary. That is very vinegary. It's a weird texture. It just like totally like melts in your mouth. Oh. 1 sec. Okay, my kids calm down. She gets excited about movies. It is hitting me. That is spicy. You don't think it's gonna be spicy? It doesn't have a whole lot of stuff to it. That's burning the back of my mouth. It's weird. I think if I grew up in the area, it'd just be like a comfort food, something you start in the morning and finish at night, but that is a lot spicier than I thought it was going to be. The texture would probably be a little bit different if I used fresh ground pork roast like I'm supposed to, but as it is, this is not bad. I definitely need like green beans or something with it and some salt. There's no salt at all in this entire thing, and I'm a salt person. But there's a lot of pepper. I'm so happy I only used half the pepper, because I think the pepper is hitting me more than the actual hot sauce and red pepper flakes is. I'm not a pepper person. But I'm going to sit and enjoy it. I'm going to think about my good friend. If you watched the beginning of my video, I talked about, this is a recipe one of my online friends had sent me a long time ago, and I decided to make it for them as an ode to oat, I suppose. But anyways, I hope you enjoy my video. Toss me a like and subscribe. I would love to have you, and I'll catch you next time. Later.